When you're a lover girl and you love and you're a nurturer and you're a feminine woman, right? That man is going to always have a soft spot for you. And the girls who get it, and the ones who don't.
For the girls who get it and the ones that, like, I don't want to get it, to be honest with you.
Bitch, what I was trying to say is this situation got me so wet and so dry at the same time. Exactly.
What's up, bitches? Welcome back to another episode of So Wet, So Dry. I'm one of your hosts, Fiji, like the island, like the water. I have a lot of pent-up rage, and I work in social media and marketing.
And my name is Autumn. Like this season, I am wearing Drew Afualo's collab with Change Women Run Shit right now because based on the last episode, y'all need a little bit of a reminder. I'm talking to you, the men in our comment section. That was crazy, but also thanks for commenting. But basically, if you guys are new here, what we do on So Wet, So Dry is we deep dive topics about sex, relationships, personal identities, all through the lens of pop culture, internet trends, and also our community's experiences. We do post polls for every single episode we do on our Instagram at So Wet, So Dry. So we'd love to have you guys join our community of confused pussies, okay?
Yes, and today we have an identity episode. We got some sex and relationships mixed in there, but we are talking about mysterious women and lover girls, the difference between the two, which is better for your dating life, blah, 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 blah. But before we get into that, we're going to start the episode as we always do, talking about what we're so wet and so dry about in this very moment. So I will go first. I am so wet about the fact that I got a new job, guys.
Woo woo! Super exciting.
So exciting. It pays quite a bit more than my last job. And then I also had...
So drinks on you.
Yeah, no. Not yet. I still haven't had the checks hit. I still haven't actually started the new job or told my last job that I'm leaving yet.
Oh,
That's
shit.
happening this week. By the time this episode comes out, I will have started the new job, and it's completely remote. It's still in marketing. It's way more like kind of what I want to do. I also had the freelance agency that I used to work with. They had like paused stuff, but they reached out to me about a new project. And then another contact that I knew from a different agency also reached out to me about a new contact. And I was broke as fuck, but now I have money coming in. So it's looking up for 2024.
Yes, I love that. And speaking of money coming in, we also like have some stuff in the works for So Wet, So Dry, which will be exciting that we can share with you guys soon. But yeah, I'm so fucking happy for you, bro, because you really were struggling for a hot minute. In the freelance, they really turned around and came back, so thank God. Because
I like thought that they maybe would because they were like, oh, like pause, cash flow issues, like whatever. But like I was suspicious that they would come back, and thank God they did because I need that fucking side hustle money, bro.
Right. Okay, well, this week I'm so wet. It was my other best friend roommate's birthday, and we did have like a whole day for ourselves. We went to like the Cannabis Cafe in LA, smoked, ate like burgers. Like it was really cool. And then we did play mini golf and go to an arcade because this bitch is like a 12-year-old and she just wants to play games. Just kidding. I love you. But anyways, so we played mini golf and your girl got not one, but two hole in motherfucking ones, bro.
Okay.
That is not easy to do, okay? Mini golf is hard. I don't know how I did it, but anyways, there was like a guy that was like maybe like 30 and like his older dad like behind us. Yeah. And like I swear like the guy was like trying to hit at me the whole time, but like not me wanting his dad because his dad was low key like because he saw me get the hole in one. He was like, my God, like, nice shot, hun. Like, you really are.
So if he was 30, his dad was, like, at least
Oh, yeah, he was 60. Old. He was not, like, grandpa, but, like, he was definitely giving, like, 55, like, maybe 60. And, like, I don't know. Like, it's just the stripper in me, bro. Like, it just reminds me, and, like, I don't know. I just think it's funny because his son was definitely trying to, like, make eyes at me. And I was like, no, I want your dad. So shut the fuck up.
I'm fucking screaming.
But I'm just, what about that? You know, what about mini golf, holes in ones, and people's dads? Like, I don't know. But yeah, it was a great time.
You got a future career in golfing. Okay, vibes. I'm so dry, guys. I like finally was catching up on my medical appointments because, as you know, when you're in your 20s, it's just like, what is the doctor? I don't want to do this shit, but I'm about to run out of my parents' health insurance because isn't it up? It's up when you turn 26 / they're retiring. Yeah, so I'm like, there's shit that I needed to get fucking checked out, and I've had like breathing problems, allergy problems, like nose problems since I was like a child. And I had surgery. I had allergy shots for 5 years, like all this shit, but like it's still bad. And I went back and pretty much just found out I have like a lot of shit wrong with my body, but like it's good. At least I have like clarity. Like they put me on 3 medications. I might need to do a surgery. I'm also going for a sleep apnea test. Like it's just like, it's a whole thing. Smoking definitely doesn't help, but it's more like my structures, like how shit is set up.
But it's not the cause.
So
no one says shit about that.
I know. When I told my parents, they were like, well, you know, smoking. I'm like, you guys know I've had these issues like my whole fucking life. Like, can we just like stop? But like smoking definitely doesn't fucking help.
No.
But I'm sick of being like out of breath all the time. Like it's pretty much like my allergies. I thought they were better, but they're like bad on the inside. So my airways have like a 10% opening when it should be like 100. So like that's like the issues, both my nose and like my tongue. But I guess like I'm just like, I'm wet about the fact that like I at least know what's wrong and I'm gonna take it seriously because like I am young and I do want to breathe better and like all of that stuff. So like if you haven't done your doctor's appointments, do them. I know you did your dentist stuff this year and that was like helpful too. So it sucks, but like long term, it's good for you, you know?
Bro, not me living at the dentist. I know. I fucking feel you. I literally need to make another appointment to go back. But yeah, having a 90% blockage to your airways, like just receiving that information for a doctor is fucking terrifying. You know what I mean?
But it makes sense and I feel better about it because like guys, like it's like one of my insecurities too. Like I don't know if you guys notice when I talk on the podcast, like I get out of breath like quickly and I also cough. We usually like mute it. But like I've had that like forever, like my whole fucking life. And it's like, at least I know, like, it feels like things are in the way. Like, one of the problems is that my tongue is too big, which I think is just fucking hilarious. Like, but they can put something in the back of your mouth to, like, open it, and then they can, like, pop this, like, bubble in my nose and, like, make shit smaller. Like, it's a whole fucking thing. But at least I know what the problem is, and at least I know how to fix it.
Because information is good and, like, it's helpful. Yeah, so we're on the right path. Totally. This week, I'm so dry because if you guys... I don't know if you guys listen to us, you know, we have like a good amount of like followers, like engaged small community, but for whatever reason on YouTube, our last episode like really popped off and there's
it's not our last one now because
I'm so sorry. Yes.
So by the time it comes out,
sorry.
It's like what, 4 or 5?
We're pre-recording right now. The episode I'm talking about that popped off a little bit is the one that's about gender wars. There's a gender war and we're, you know, getting out of the trenches. I don't fucking remember. Something like that. And that episode just like the views went up really fast. And we have like over 30 comments and most of them are a lot of men telling us we're fat, ugly, and unfuckable, which is just hilarious. Okay. Because if you listen to the show, we be getting fucked, bitch. Like a lot. So shut up.
Like, unfuckable is crazy, and, like, fat is crazy, too. Like, they were just, like, mean, and, like, it's so funny because, like, we be wanting to, like, pop off and, like, shit on their lives, but at the same time, I'm like, thank you for your comment, because you're driving the fucking algorithm, and, like...
Y'all came through!
Like, and I think it's because the incels keyword was, like, in our description, because we talked about incels, and, like, a lot of times because we talk about gender, like, I think the algorithm, like... puts us in algorithms with a lot of like hateful male incels because they watch this stuff to shit on women.
Right.
So at least like, even though we'd like to, you know, appeal to more women and queer people and not get out of that algorithm, at the same time, at least it's like we're in the conversation, you know? Right.
No, because it was a little bit, you know, off-putting, but at the same time, y'all really, you're paying the bills right now. So we appreciate you. And thank you for commenting, but definitely dry about it because what the fuck. Okay, so as Fiji said, we are going to be talking about lover girls, mysterious girls, you know, which is more beneficial, which is, which do we think we are? What are you guys? All that stuff. So we're going to start by sharing our poll results for this episode. And the first poll we asked y'all was, do you identify more with the lover girl or the mysterious girl? And obviously, these things have been trending online and there's a bunch of TikToks about it, like all that. So basically, lover girl was 48% and mysterious girl was 52%. So pretty like 50-50. Mm-hmm. I feel like for me, y'all, I don't fucking know. I want to be a mysterious girl, but I don't think I am. So then it's like I'm a lover girl, but I don't think I am either. But I also just haven't been in a relationship in a minute. So I'm kind of like, I don't really know right now.
Yeah, I feel like you're more of a lover girl just based off of how you flirt. Ew. But I don't think you have like all of the but I feel like that's just more of like a being like forward, like being like whatever type of person.
Okay, yeah, I like that.
And like I also think in relationships you're more of a lover girl, but that's like everyone mostly.
Right.
Like, because I would say I think I'm definitely more identify with mysterious girl on a base level, like 100%. Just the way I act when I first like meet people and I just don't respond and I'm just like kind of like detached, like I'm very detached. But I don't know, like I think like at my heart, at my core, I'm a lover girl, like for sure. Like
when you're in love with someone, like
yeah, and even I feel like I can't even be a lover girl, but I act like a mysterious girl.
Right.
Which, well, we're gonna get into more, but I feel like in my relationships, I still don't even feel like I'm completely like lover girl in the way that some of those some of the stuff is. You know what I'm saying? Like I've never really been the type of girl that's gonna, until recently with the last guy I was talking to, like I was not the type of girl that was gonna like make sure you're comfortable and like make you food and like whatever. Like that was a new thing I was trying in my last shit. And I don't know if it went well for me, but like
yeah, and I feel like it's like with everything out online and like TikTok and everything, you're never gonna like identify with everything they say about lover girls, or so it's kind of like just kind of for fun, like what do you think you are, but obviously we like take everything fucking seriously, so we have to like really, you know what I mean? But it's interesting. I think that you can be different, like relationship you and single you shouldn't be that different, but I think they are a little different because like, you know what I mean?
You gotta
like,
protect yourself a little bit, and like and part of it is like the journey of like getting to know someone. Like I feel like there's good reasons to be mysterious in the beginning of things for like sexual tension and like stuff like that, which we'll get into. And like there's also good reasons to be a lover girl, and being a mysterious girl can be toxic in other ways. Like there's benefits to both, and I want to like make it clear that we're not trying to say it's either like one or the other, or you have to be like, because I don't want to be like heroin chic is trending, let's all be heroin chic. Like we always bring up heroin chic as our example, but like I think women archetypes and like personalities do trend in a lot of ways, where like you're getting this media that's trying to teach you like, oh, if you're more like this, things are going to be easier for you. But I don't think that's necessarily the case. I think we can learn from both.
Yeah, and I think it's really detrimental too. Like no one should be taking on these identities hard because the internet has it trending and told you to do so. I think what to do with these types of internet trends is to like dissect it like we do and just like talk about it, because we definitely do not promote like binary thinking, like being one or the other, or like having to, you know what I mean? We always talk about duality, and at the end of the day, obviously, we're going to be like, we're everything. We can both be lover girls and mysterious girls, but it's also more than that, and I think it's important for us to, like, recognize that, like, the fact that these are trending, like, let's look at that, too. Like, what is that? And heroin chic is fucking hilarious, because why is it trending so hard? I feel like it was trending a lot in the early 2000s, and now it's back.
Yeah.
What happened?
Yeah, because it's like it's always goes all the way one way, because it was like the BBL body, like Coke body, like whatever, and then it goes the other way. But like the thing, I feel like with these personality archetypes, like a lot of it can be toxic, but at least you can learn behaviors or coping mechanisms or things that you can change in a positive way from a personality versus the body type. I feel like should never trend.
Right, and it's also interesting too. Like we'll get into it, but like, movie characters and TV show characters, like, you know, display these archetypes hard. And, like, we are real people. We're not movie characters. So it's kind of fun to talk about it in terms of, like, the media. But then when you think about what you identify as, it just gets a little weird because why are we even picking between these two things, you know? So, yeah, I'm glad you said that. We're definitely not trying to promote that or anything.
Okay, so the next poll that we asked you guys was which of the following is the most true about lover girls? And these are some of the qualities, topics, whatever that have been trending on TikTok. And the one that won by far is 75%. They picked the wrong people to love, which I feel like can definitely agree. And then tied for second place at only 10% is they have pick-me energy and that they're more feminine than other girls. And then in last place at 5%, they've never thugged it out once in their life.
Yeah. I mean, I think it's like you think about a lover girl, like she just wants to love someone and like she wants the bad boy. Like, I don't know. I guess that's what they're trying to say. It's like they're always going for the wrong people. I also do think some of them have pick-me energy. I'll say it. Especially if you're promoting yourself as such, like in a TikTok. Like, that's fucking weird.
Yeah, because I feel like there's like two camps of the lover girl trend on TikTok that I've seen. And one I definitely relate to with the picking the wrong people to love and never thugged it out once a day in their life. Like, I feel like I can like, but everyone's going to want to pick those more than the others because it's like, oh, like I'm just a victim of like this, like I'm just loved too hard and blah, 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 blah. But like, I think the other side is like there's all these TikToks about how to be more feminine and how to be like, you know, more appeal to the male gaze and stuff like that. And that very much gives like pick me energy where it's like, oh, like he's just never been loved hard enough. And it's like, I don't know, maybe he just like is a bad person and
that's
you
so
shouldn't
terrifying.
change anything.
Yeah. That side of it is like really scary because like some women will like take that seriously and then you create like a kind of little army of pick-me's that are like, you know, this is why he treated her wrong and all that.
Yep.
And honestly, my ex's fucking wife kind of did that to me and she's all like, he's not the same man that you were in an open relationship with. Like, I'm teaching him about morals. I'm like, oh, congrats. Like, you have a baby student that you need to, you think I'm jealous of that? I'm not jealous of that. So it's just like, yeah, I get that hard. But I do think the like, you love really hard. Like, I relate to that for sure because like, I definitely do. But then I'm also like, don't we all? You know what I mean? Don't we all?
We're all human beings with feelings and we're going to get hurt. And like, that's okay. Like, you're going to pick the wrong people to love. And like, I feel like people will just like kind of be drawn to these like archetypes or whatever because they're like, oh, like this is like helping me cope with it. And like, I've fallen into that before where I'm like, I feel like even with my last situationship, because my previous relationship was so bad, I was like, oh, it's something wrong with me and how I love. So I'm going to try to be softer and try to be like this. And part of that was good. Like, I feel like there were part of my qualities that needed to change like that. But I feel like I've definitely fallen into pick me shit because if you're like hurt so many times, you start to believe like whatever.
I think the part about like they're more feminine than other girls like scares me the most because like, you know, we believe that it's like you're like being feminine and masculine. It's all about like energies. It's like we say like, oh, they're more femme presenting, but it's like at the end of the day, like what does that even fucking mean? Like what does it mean to be a woman? What does it mean to be feminine? Blah, blah, blah. So the fact that these bitches like really think that like, you know, being more feminine and nurturing and like soft is the reason why like the bad boy is going to be turned good for them. Like that is just like absolutely terrifying and completely untrue. Yeah. Because no, he's just going to take advantage of you. And that's why it's like, that's why they pick the wrong people to love, like whatever. So yeah. And that's why I'm just like, I know that I kind of lean more lover girl, but I just like don't think I want to be. But I also think we have the power to kind of create our own definitions for these things too. And like, just take what we see on TikTok with like, you know, that's one version of it. Yeah. So it's like, you know, which lover girl version of you should really be the question because what the fuck?
Right. Exactly.
Yeah. But let's talk about mysterious girls. So we asked y'all, which of the following is the most true about mysterious girls? And the winner of that one at 44% said they're really just shy and insecure, which is super interesting. Okay. They're man-eaters and love to finesse at 37%. It's giving Jennifer's Body, Megan Fox. And then 19% said they never overshare. And 0% said they're nepotism babies. And we threw that one in there for a specific reason, and we can definitely get into that later. But I think for, mysterious girls just being really shy and insecure, I don't know. Again, I think it can be true because, Billie Eilish kind of gives, mysterious girl, right? I'm just on a Billie Eilish kick right now, but I guess she's not.
No, yes and no, because I feel like she's also very, I think of mysterious girls as, they don't overshare, and I feel like Billie Eilish does. But, again, there's different types, but I would say, even in me identifying as being a mysterious girl, I feel like a good amount of it comes from being shy and insecure for me.
Yeah.
Not being able to, express my emotions or being, afraid of, rejection or, shit like that. I feel like if I were to get to the core of, certain things, I think it's boundaries and just wanting to protect yourself and blah, blah, blah. But, for me, I feel like that makes sense. But I would have thought it was that they never overshare.
Right. But they said that they're really shy and insecure. And I think they're man-eaters and love to finesse is interesting. I feel like, I don't know. What do you think? I'm kind of stumped.
Because I feel like I get this a lot. I don't know about finesse. Well, maybe in stripper days or whatever. But I've been told a lot from men that they think I'm a man-eater. But I feel like that's also just me not giving them enough attention and me just not needing them. Really? You know what I'm saying? So I guess I can see that. But I feel like you don't have to be a man-eater to be a mysterious girl. I don't know.
Yeah, because I think that I 100% finesse, but I've never been called a man-eater. At the end of the day, I really do think I lean more soft lover girl, but I don't want to. You know what I mean? But do you think so it's if lover girls are having this feminine shit, our mysterious girls, they have that more masculine dom energy?
Yeah. I think that they do. And I feel like we'll get into it a little bit more with the TikTok stuff. But when I was doing research on it, I was I feel in a sad way, mysterious girls, even though we talk about lover girls are appealing to the patriarchy with pick-me energy, I feel like mysterious girls have a lot of internalized misogyny where they're trying to be a little bit more like men or make themselves more of a mirror or I don't know how to explain it, something you can project onto,
right?
Something like that, where it's a lover girl I think is much more vocal and loud sometimes about what she wants or what she's looking for, versus mysterious girls are you don't have access to me, don't touch me, whatever, but
it's almost they don't have that superpower to be able to open up and
exactly
say it. So it's at the end of the day, it's the lover girl can be giving pick me and she's kind of annoying, but she does know how to have standards, say for what she wants or whatever. Whereas the mysterious girl is dating someone and doesn't really even think that much about it. So they're kind of doesn't even matter about standards because I know I'm not going to, they're just more, okay.
They act kind of and we have an episode coming up, guys, about the nonchalant man and the lover boy. But, I think, there's a lot of, nonchalant men out there because they're taught through toxic masculinity that you're not supposed to, be expressive of your emotions. And I think, especially for me, I feel like I would go towards the mysterious girl because I'm I think when you do that, it makes men open up more or it's, matching their energy with your energy, which isn't always it's not always healthy because then you're kind of, ignoring your emotions and pushing them down. But I feel like it's, a way of, coming at dating.
I feel like I honestly have experience of maybe being a lover girl, but trying to be the mysterious girl, especially in my open relationship with the man. Yeah. Because I had to kind of pretend I didn't care as much to match his energy. That's kind of sad. I feel like that's so true though.
Yeah, so they both really have pick-me energy when we think
they
about
both,
it.
That's what I'm saying. I was going to say, but then I was wait, am I wrong? But yeah, because, mysterious girls have pick-me, too, because mysterious girls almost have pick-me energy, too, because they are trying to be, kind of I'm not like those lover girls and, match their energy in, the masculine, nonchalant type of way. And almost, not all of them, but maybe, shit on those girls and just be why are they, Yeah.
They're doing too much, and like I would never do that much, like whatever. Like,
And this is not
matter.
surprising that society would make two women archetypes that are pick me as fuck, because that's all they do.
And the thing is, too, is I feel like it's a lot of women that are, like, pushing out this type of stuff as these identifiers. So, like, the whole thing in itself is kind of pick me, because it's like, oh, I'm like her, I'm not like her. And it's like, I think it's all of us women trying to come together. It's not just in heterosexual relationships, because we'll get into it, like, with both, there's, like, queer qualities as well. But I feel like they're both come down to, like, coping mechanisms and like tricks that people play to try to like have a better dating life. I really think that that's what it is.
Because I honestly feel like men and like people putting this like societal shit on women, like they like love a pick me because they want us to like fucking hate each other.
Yeah, and
so
ourselves.
It makes sense.
And ourselves, because I feel like that's the other thing. Like with both, there's a lot of like self-hatred,
right?
And like
which
some use
super
like
fun.
Yeah, a lot of lover girls like use humor about it, but like I feel like mysterious girls like shove it down. But like yeah, I don't know. We'll definitely get into it more with like TikTok examples in a little bit. But we asked you guys which archetype qualities have worked out better for you in your dating life, and this one was by far at 71% mysterious girl 1 and 29% lover girl, and this makes a lot of sense to me
because everyone's getting hurt. You know what I mean?
I feel like I feel like. And honestly, in my dating life, I feel like I have normally been the mysterious girl. The only way I led lover girl was my last situation. And I feel like it's because there's a lot of nonchalant men out there, or like even if they're lover boys and they love bomb or whatever, like they get turned off by too much like love and affection because one, they probably are misogynist and hate like women, or they have avoidant attachment styles or like whatever. So like I feel like the ways that it's worked for me is just acting like I don't care and being distant, and that like drives them crazy, and so then they like want you more. Versus if they have access to you too much, I think they don't respect you.
Right. And I think I learned, because also like I'll relate it to like queer shit too, because I think like with my first relationship, which they are non-binary now, so I need to be very careful. So with my first relationship, we were open, and I feel like I really was ultimate lover girl in that relationship because they were the first person I ever loved, first person I ever dated, first person that ever fucking dicked me down with a strap on. Like it was a lot of firsts. But again, I think because we were open, it's like, yeah, like I feel like it's like just like take out the lover girl for a second. It's like when you're in a relationship and you're loving really hard, it's like your first love. There are those pressures to kind of still be mysterious and like hold back to like keep them. But it's like part of me wants to think that that's bullshit, because like if they really loved you, then they would just stay and like accept you for how you are. But I think like especially our generation, our society, like there are pressures as being, and that's why I think people said like it's worked out more being a mysterious girl, because it's all this like push and pull chase shit. But I don't know. Like, I feel like in my relationships, I've been lover girl, got crushed down, and became mysterious out of absolute need and trying to survive.
Yeah, I think that's exactly it, too, for me. Because, like, I've always been I'm either a relationship type of girl or a hoe. And, like, even in my relationships, though, like, I feel like it took me a while to, like, open up. But it's just like a part of me is like I like that mystery and I like that detachment, because I think to a certain degree you need that to have like sexual tension and to let the other person be their own person. Like I'm the type of person where it's like if I'm with a dude and he pisses me off, I'm not going to respond to him for a day or two because like I want to deal with it by myself, and I feel like that comes off as mysterious, but like to me it's also like healthier.
Right, and that's the thing too, because it's like putting these archetypes on things that like make something that's healthy look like you're being mysterious, because all women are just like so thirsty and want to be texting their man 24/7, which the fuck we don't. Like,
but it can
not
also
everyone.
be manipulative too, which I think is like the double-edged sword, because I feel like sometimes I could do it out of being like protecting myself, taking care of myself, and not like projecting onto this other person, but other times it's like, oh, I kind of want them to be like, where the fuck did she disappear to? I want to know. Because if I were to just come out and say what was wrong, they'd be like, oh, you're tripping, oh, you're tweaking, like da 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 da. You
Right.
know, so it is kind of manipulative at the same time.
Totally. Okay, yeah. So, but it could be healthy, like if you weren't trying to be manipulative. It's all about your intentions and like not responding, I guess. But yeah. All right. So the last poll we asked y'all was, are you more attracted to a lover girl or a mysterious girl? Obviously, we have men, women, femmes, non-binary, queer people answering. So I'm going to say what my answer would be like as a queer woman. Okay. Mm-hmm. So are you more attracted to a lover girl, mysterious girl? Very 50-50 here, you guys. We have 53% said lover girl, 47% said mysterious girl. I'm more attracted to mysterious girls. Hands the fuck down. I am not a mysterious girl, so what am I attracted to myself? No, I want that opposite yin-yang energy. Mm-hmm. So I feel like mysterious girls are so sexy. Yes, it's a little bit because of the like push and pull. They don't give you too much. Like, I love a bitch that does not give me everything. Like, you know, they like, oh. So that's me. I definitely think, like, what is attractive about a lover girl? Couldn't tell you. I'm just like.
I mean, there definitely is. I feel like that makes sense, too, because it's like attachment styles, like avoidant versus anxious. Like, usually an avoidant likes an anxious and an anxious likes an avoidant. And I feel like lover girl gives anxious. But I feel like I'm more mysterious girl-ish, but can be lover girl. But I would like a mysterious girl. And I think it's the same if it was a man, which we have an episode coming up. But I feel like I'm more attracted to mysterious girls. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I feel like they give more dominant energy, too, sometimes.
Exactly.
So, yeah.
And I've said this before. It was like, I love a situation where, like, there's someone that's, like, not really, like, I'm, like, very outwardly sexual. I was a stripper. Like, I'm very comfortable. So when I get a bitch that's not, I eat that shit up. And that's kind of giving lover girls. So I think I can be attracted to lover girls a little bit. But, like, my first girlfriend was without a doubt mysterious girl. And I would even argue to say number 2 was as well. Like, they were definitely not, like, I was the one, like, writing paragraphs about how much I love, you know, the way the sun hits their hair. Like, I was the one doing that. They were kind of just like either playing basketball or like, you know, like it was just, so I think that stands 100%. And I definitely think the last man I dated was a fucking nonchalant motherfucker too. So
yeah, I think I've dated lover boys and nonchalant.
Yeah, you have. I feel like lover boys love you. I mean, that's a different episode. But I do feel like the lover boy, because it's the yin and yang, like the mysterious girl with the lover girl. But I don't want to get it too confused with like the sub-dom, because that's where I'm taking it. Because I think there are some very dominant lover girl lesbians out there, like for sure. Because
that give you great aftercare and shit like that, bro. Too. Like,
some of those masked lesbians you think want to like chain you up are like the biggest softies ever and are complete lover girls, which we love. But like, I don't want to I'm getting that confused a little bit, but then it's like we can't look at it so binary. Not all mysterious girls are the same, but like, with our own perspective and bias, I'm like, yeah, the mysterious girl is hot as fuck. Like, I don't think she's a pick-me. But I think when we talk about it in terms of, like, our culture and, like, the TikToks, it does give pick-me. So it's a little bit different. It depends.
Yeah, I was honestly surprised that Lover Girl won. And I feel like it's because, like, in these polls, I noticed, like, not that many men voted, like, at all. But, like, I would have thought it was Mysterious Girl. Because I feel like for men, they say they want a lover girl, but they really want a mysterious girl. Like especially nonchalant men, I feel like, well, I don't know, because they be going after like fiery. And we'll talk about that more in the upcoming episode. But I feel like when we get into the mysterious girl and the TikToks that we're talking about, like I was seeing very much of that, like the sexy woman in every action film or every male-centered movie where it's like she's like a flat character and she's like sexy and you can project onto her and you don't quite know her, but that's because she was written with no personality beyond that. And I feel like men love that because it's a challenge. And like that's how they write all their characters. So like I thought Mysterious Girl was gonna win this one, but I do think we had a lot of like women and queer women vote, and I feel like the Lover Girl appears more to the feminine gaze.
Yes, I agree. Yeah, because it's like, because the Mysterious Girl does very much, they can kind of more want to appeal. Well, The lover girl also is like, because then you have the lover girls online that are like trying to be for the male gaze. So it just depends. But I think in the queer context, we agree that it's like the lover girl is the more like feminine one.
Because I think when we talk about like queerness and how we're like the mysterious girl sexy, we both think that, like, we think that, but we also want them to be like very loving towards us if we were actually to date them.
Yeah, because at the end of the day, it's like, I think my first partner, who again is non-binary now, so they were definitely, you know, mysterious person. But I think it never worked because ultimately they did never give me what I needed, which was for them to only be with me. So it's like, yes, it was appealing. Yes, the sex was amazing. But is it going to work long term? I don't know. Has anything worked long term for me? No.
Right. That's what I'm saying. Like, we're still trying to figure it the fuck out because clearly neither one of us are in like a long-term loving relationship.
Yeah, so don't come to us, bro, because I couldn't tell you what is the best way to go because either way, we just got to wait for our people, guys. That's literally what it is. But yeah, so I think we're kind of just going to break down lover girls and then we're going to break down mysterious girls and we're going to talk a little bit about nepotism babies as well.
So let's start with like defining the lover girl a little bit and talking about like who she is, if she's anyone, if she's all of us, how it appears on TikTok. But the lover girl is also known as the certified lover girl. Like, I'm a certified lover girl. People be getting tattoos of it. People have little pins. People be like, I'm a hopeless romantic. I'm Delulu. I think a lot of Delulu girls also fall into the lover girl.
Because you have to be Delulu to believe that type of love is like.
Yeah, to believe like romance isn't dead, like all of these things. And I feel like that's why a lot of us can relate to a certain degree. But yeah, I think hopeless romantics, like lover girls, certified lover girls, like it makes sense that they're delusional because they want to believe romance isn't dead, which we feel like it is in today's fucking society. But a lot of the lover girl TikToks that I saw were a lot of like frustrated women and like funny rants and confessionals about how they're like really just lover girls and they don't want to be city girls anymore. Like, they're not built for these streets.
Right.
Like, they just want to be like loved. Like, they're pretty much like fed up with the dating game, and maybe they used to be mysterious girls that like had their heart broken too and then realized like, what the fuck? Like, why don't I just be a lover girl and have my heart on my sleeve because like that didn't work. And it's often juxtaposed against being a hoe, which I feel like is the misogynistic part of things, because it's like, oh, like, whether you were a lover girl or whether you were a mysterious girl that was just in these streets trying to be on your city girl shit, your hot girl shit, like whatever, like that didn't work because like you don't have feelings or you're just fucking people or like whatever, and then that didn't work for you and now you want to be a lover girl, when like I think you can be both. Like we said, like I don't think it's great to like pin other women against each other, but when it's your own experience, I feel like that makes sense to me.
Right.
Like, I feel like I did that very much, going from like, oh, I was a mysterious girl, got my heart broken, and then like, I don't want to be in these streets anymore. I want to be celibate and I want to find someone who really loves me. Do I actually believe that? I don't fucking know.
You mean you were a lover girl and then you were like, I want to be in
No, what before that?
Okay. Yeah, because I feel like, do you think a lot of mysterious girls are like lover girls turned mysterious girls because they got hurt?
I think it goes both ways. I think girls be bouncing back and forth because part of it is just your healing when you think about it.
Like,
right. You got your heart broken. You were upset, like da-da-da-da. You're going to think, oh, I shouldn't move that way. Oh, I did things wrong. Oh, I should be this way from now on. So like a lover girl is going to become more mysterious and protect herself and da-da-da. And then a mysterious girl is going to be like, oh, I didn't say how I really felt. Da-da-da, I'm going to do this. But I think where the lover girls, like one thing about them is I feel like it's funny. The rants and the confessionals are funny. Like, I've definitely liked a lot of those TikToks. I feel like I've even posted some on our account that are like, just like when they're just like fed up or frustrated or like ranting and just are kind of like making fun of themselves. It's a little bit like self-deprecating of like, why am I like, I'm just like just a girl in this world and like the world isn't built for me. But it can also be like kind of taking like victim energy a little bit and like just making yourself be the victim when like maybe you did pick the wrong person and maybe you just don't like people that are good for you kind of thing. I don't know. Which
we can both relate to that. You and I, like, really fucking hard. And I think it's a hard lesson to learn, but I don't know. I think this whole thing of, like, bouncing between mysterious girl and lover girl, like, I do blame society because why are these archetypes here for us to, like, bounce between rather than just, like, be healing and living our lives. Because at the end of the day, it's not a unique experience to get your heart broken and then go be a hoe in the streets. Like, that is just the healing process within itself. So it's like these videos online, it's kind of just like, it's just so black and white, like so like one or the other. And I feel like now, like, we're getting into the episode, I feel like I definitely am a lover girl, because at the end of the day, like, I do wear my heart on my sleeve, and I'm not afraid to, like, tell people my feelings. Like, one thing about me, I am not afraid. Even that fucked up man that hurt me so many times, I would just, you know, tell him straight up, like, I love you. Like, I don't care. So and I was going to say, like, but I would never wear a certified lover girl pin, because I'm almost like, I really think that, like, for me, like, being a lover girl, I 100% choose the wrong people to love. So why would I want that to be some, like, part of my identity? Like, I don't think you should be a lover girl to everyone, because not everyone deserves it.
Right.
Like, you need to, like, take your time. It really is, like, a balance between the two. It's, like, the happy medium.
Yeah, and I feel like a lot of it is coming out of, too, like, we've seen TikTok become, like, a place for women to just, like, share experiences, and, like, that's why, like, Barbie core, like, bimbo core, like, I'm just a girl, like, we're celebrating, like, girlhood and, like, also our emotions and, like, our emotional breakdowns and, like, the things we go through from breakups and stuff. So I feel like a good part of all of that is that, like, women are being, like, unapologetically, like, themselves and being like, I was hurt, like, I put my heart on the line, like, I love these people, and, like, other women are like, oh, I've been there. Like, so it's been a way for women to come together in a way. Yeah. Whereas I feel like in the past it would have given, like, more pick-me energy. Like, the pick-me thing is so hard, because I feel like when you really break it down, any woman could be a pick-me in anything at any time.
I think we all have a little bit of pick-me, just, like, in this individualist society where it's literally everyone for themselves. Like, we all do have a little bit of pick-me in me, for sure. Yeah. And I think pick-me women are, like, tear it apart even harder because they're women.
And that's misogynistic, too, like, for us to be like, oh, she's just a pick-me. So it's
I know!
But let's go
But she is, bro.
Right. I know. But let's go into this, like, we're going to play a TikTok for you guys and talk about it a little bit.
Yeah, let's do it.
This is serious, and I want you guys to understand this. When you're a lover girl, and you love, and you're a nurturer, and you're a feminine woman, right? That man is going to always have a soft spot for you. And the girls who get it, and the ones who don't.
Okay, so that was giving pick me, definitely, I think, a little bit. And I feel like this, to me, sounds like, you know, no shade, no hate to the woman who created this TikTok. I've seen a lot of these. This is just one example. But, like, I don't think anything that she said is, like, true. Because, like, it's like, oh, he's always going to have a place in his heart for you. Yeah, maybe he is. But maybe he was just an awful person. And, like, you're trying to find a way to be like, oh, like, he's always going to love me.
Right. And it's like, I honestly, like, felt that a little bit, like, with my ex-boyfriend. Like, I was like, oh, like, he's with all these other girls, but, like, I'm, like, a natural nurturer. Like, he wants to have a baby with me. Like, I'm going to be a mom. Like, all of that stuff. But then it's like, maybe he has a soft spot for you because you stick around when he constantly does shit to you and you don't leave because you're not, like, the mysterious girl that stands up for herself or whatever. You're, like, the lover girl that just stays because you love so hard and you can't leave. Like, I've
been there too. Like, I've definitely, and I feel like the other, like, really toxic thing that she said is, like, when you're a real feminine woman and you're like people will understand, you either understand or you don't. And I feel like, what the fuck is a real feminine woman? Because I feel like I fell into that trap trying to be more soft and feminine or whatever, because I thought that was the issue with my last relationship, was that I was still a lover girl, but that I was too hard. But it's like, I don't think being like, oh, when you're a real feminine woman and nurturer, men will always have a soft spot for you. Like, that doesn't make sense. What is a real feminine woman? I just don't.
Right. And that's just being, like, just inherently, like, just mean to other women that, like, aren't like that. And it's like, that's how you should be as a woman, is, like, the connotation behind all of that. And it's just not fucking true. Like, what are we, in the 1940s? Like, women are doing way more than having babies now, y'all. Like, that used to be, like, the one thing they were good at.
Yep.
But now it's like,
Because it's like, you're saying that a man will only like have a soft place in his heart for you based off of like what you're doing for him and like
that's
the
why
box
it's
you're putting
Delulu.
right, and not like who you are. Like, you know.
Exactly. And that's why it's just like for the girls who get it and the ones that, like, I don't want to get it, to be honest with you.
I get where she's coming from and I get why she thinks that way. And I feel like it's internalized misogyny. And maybe that is like her experience. Like, nothing against women who, you know, want to do the whole softer feminine shit. Like, I think there's a lot of beautiful things about being soft and feminine. But like, I don't think that that's the only reason a man's going to hold you in his heart if shit doesn't work out.
And I've honestly been there, bro, because I swear these exact thoughts, like when I was in the open relationship, like I was like, no, I'm different than the other girls that he's with. Like, I'm different. I hold
it down longer and he always knows where home is. Like, I never said that, but like, I've definitely like, I held it down for a man that clearly did not give enough of a fuck about me, but I thought I could love him out of it. Like, I feel like most of us have been there before, whether it was with a man, woman, like whatever. And I feel like this is like just a symptom of your coping journey and not really like truth.
So it's not like looking at that TikTok and it's like, oh, like fuck her, like not at all, but it's almost like been there and I like wish you the best. I hope you feel better because like it's a hard place to be in.
Yeah.
Because also like like you shouldn't have to like keep the man, like he should just be with you. Like it shouldn't even have to be like this. So
no, don't like that one. Okay. This other one, is more of kind of what I was talking about before with the like rants on TikTok and stuff like that, like the funny rants.
I just like, I want to be a hoe, but it's just not in me. It's not in me to be a hoe. I'm a fucking what?
Lover girl.
I'm a lover girl. I want to take you here to Town Lake and I want to buy you fucking flowers and take you to that white linen restaurant. White linen restaurant. I want to take you on a date and I want us to sit there and learn about each other. I want to love you and I want to spoil you, but people just want me to act like a fucking hoe and act nonchalant. But that's not me.
That's not you.
I want to love you. Fuck you hoes. Especially you straight bitches. Dumbasses.
Okay, so the one part about that, this is a queer woman, because at the end she said, fuck you straight bitches, like whatever, like she's queer, whatever. And part of it, the thing I don't like about it is that she's like, I don't want to be a hoe, like I want to be like this. But like at the same time, I get it because it just goes into like what we're even talking about between like the binaries of you're either a lover girl or you're a mysterious girl. You're either a hoe or you want to take someone to a fancy ass restaurant. And I feel like she feels this pressure maybe to be more mysterious, nonchalant, when what she really craves is connection, romance, and and both of us can relate to that. Like,
yeah, I feel like this TikTok is so representative of like so many people in like the lesbian queer community, because I feel like as lesbians, like you do like love really fucking hard. We have all the U-Haul jokes, but it's like then you have those mysterious like lesbians that are so fucking hot and are not U-hauling, bitch. Like they're out here breaking hearts low key. Yeah. And so it's like a bunch of, that's why it's like on TikTok, all the femmes are always like, we can't compete with the masks. Like they just be out here getting bitches so easily, where it's like, I feel like deep down, a lot of queer women are just like the lover girl and just want to do that. But it's like our society puts the mysterious more like sexually appealing. Yeah. So I get it. And then, but it is again kind of like, the binary and black and white of like being a hoe and a lover girl just like isn't cool, because if you're like a woman who doesn't feel like a lover girl and you're like, oh well, it's not hard for me to be a hoe, so is something wrong with me? Like, because I can have sex with someone and like be fine, I can hoe out and be fine. Some people genuinely can't, like they feel dirty, they feel ashamed, and cool.
I feel that though, and I had to realize that because sometimes I've had hoe experiences where I laugh about it, it was fun, I really don't care, but I've also had like sex experiences where I was like being a hoe where it didn't feel great, and then I feel like I can like go back to be like, oh, like that's not, but it's me realizing that's not really what I want. And I feel like that's part of this, but it's just like it's hard with the language that we use, because it's like, I don't know, like part of it I feel like it's her talking against like you said, like the system and the constructs of what women should be. But then it's like in doing that, like we don't want to tear down like other women too at the same time. Like, right. You know?
But I think it is like a universal feeling for a lot of people, not everyone, to be like because there is this thing right now, like with like being city girls and like not everyone can live that life.
Yeah.
And I think you and I like have lived it, maybe still do. And yes, we feel bad about it sometimes. But at the end of the day, like, you know, the streets used to really be home, like stripper days and shit. Now they're definitely not.
Yeah.
But I think it's empowering, and not everyone does feel the empoweringness of being a hoe like we do. And it's not all empowering. Sometimes it's bad, but I think people can relate to that and be like, why is being a hoe and like out here trendy? Like, I can't do that. I just want to like be at home and like have a candlelit dinner. But it does come across as pick me, because you just have to be so careful, like with everything you fucking say, because it comes across. And that's why we get so paranoid, because we just talk so freely. And at the end of the day, like, we probably have said stuff that didn't land right. And like, that's just life. But I don't know. I think it's just so hard. But I do think the TikToks, like we're listening to, like they definitely do some good for some people, and some people relate. Yeah. And I think this one isn't as bad as like the first one.
Yeah, this one's definitely more like when you're going through shit. Like, I had a lot of these on my shit when I was going through the lover girl phase I had that didn't work out. It's like, it'll be these, or it'll just be a sound with words on the screen. And it's just like healing shit. Like, bitches like kind of like self-deprecating, being like, I'm like tired with myself, like I just want love, but in like a funny like way. Like, she was like ranting outside in the street and her friend is like laughing. Like, it's one of those like crazy woman moments where like you just had a heartbreak and you're out with your friend and you're just like venting. Like, I think overall this one is like a lot, definitely just more like entertaining, healthier, like fun, whatever. But
yeah, because I think when we're out and like venting and making a funny TikTok, we're not really being like PC all the time. Like, you know what I mean? We're not like thinking about it, and that's okay. You know, like it's fine. Like, she didn't say anything wrong, but I think because we're doing an episode about this and we're just like realizing that these two archetypes, hoe, good girl, bad girl, good girl, fucking lover girl, mysterious girl, like it's all just like putting, you know, what are you, either one or the other. And that's not good. But some of good can come from this as well. Just
and it's also
women.
like when we say like, oh, like I don't want to be a city girl anymore, or like the city girl era's over when JT started dating Lil Uzi,
and everyone was like, what the fuck?
Started dating Diddy, but it's like they're still both kind of like, they still make that music and they're still in loving relationships. So that's why it's like, I don't want it like to be one or the other, because I feel like end of the day, like duality, like you can be both. So.
Right. Okay, so next we're going to talk about how lover girls can have this like really self-destructive, ride or die, intense mentality.
I am a lover girl. I like kisses on the forehead and having my hand held in public. I like bundles of tulips or a singular rose from your neighbor's garden. I like skin-on-skin contact and raw vulnerability. I am a lover girl. Enchanted by the bare minimum and unsurprised when I receive less. I make excuses for slow texts. I stay awake all night because he says he'll call. I apply makeup just in case his plans change. I assure my friends he's not as bad as he seems. I am a lover girl. Meaning I fall in love with people who have no business being loved by me.
Like, obviously, she's writing this spoken word poem, and I've seen a lot of these, like, on TikTok, too, where it's, like, it's some sort of, like, catharsis, healing. Like, people like it because they can relate to it, and I can relate to it, too. Like you said, like, staying up to, like, adjust your schedule around this person. Like, my ex used to go out when I'd, like, wait, like, not sleep all night, like, wondering where he is, like, da-da-da, all this shit. But it's, like, it's destroying your own identity, and, like, it gets romanticized. Like, there's something, like, beautiful about that and tragically feminine. But I feel like one shouldn't be seen as a feminine quality, because I think men do it too. Like, men have definitely been with, like, you know, nonchalant women or whatever, that, like, they've done the same thing with women. But, like, it's just, like, that, like, martyr mentality, that, like, victim of, like, giving yourself up to this person and they're your world. Like,
And that's the, like, you know, I keep saying I'm a lover girl. I don't think I'm this lover girl. I think I might have been in the past, but I think that spoken word poetry is very much like, this is what a lover girl is. They give everything. They, you know, want the little things. They, you know, they deal with it.
The bare minimum, obsessed with the bare minimum. Like,
Right. And then eventually, you know, the guy or the partner, it's never reciprocated and they don't love them anymore because it was fucking too much. Like, that's the lover girl story, is that you give everything and then you get hurt.
Yeah.
And so it's kind of like, you know, and I'll say this to myself too, but let's look at, because why did I get hurt in all these past relations? Like, my last ex-boyfriend, why did I get hurt? Because I fucking stayed and he wasn't treating me right. You know what I mean? Like, let's take responsibility for what we've also done. Because staying in a relationship, although I'm not talking about abuse, but, like, it's hard to leave. But at the end of the day, if you stay, that's on you.
That's on you. It's on you. And that's, like, how I feel about my ex. Like, I was definitely, like, it's weird because I don't think I had a lot of the lover girl qualities about, like, the dramatic displays of love or, like, the, like, love bombing or, like, that type of stuff. Like, I was very nonchalant. But, like, in terms of being a ride or die and making this person my world and, like, sacrificing to, like, be with this person, definitely did that. And then also with the last dude I was with, like, this made me think, like, I was way more lover girl with him and he was more, like, nonchalant. And I feel like I've said it before, but this was, like, part of my healing. And I think, like, overcompensating for ways that I feel like I hadn't shown up as, like, super loving in past relationships. And I think there's a line, like, I think I might have gone too far on the other side with him, but, like, one thing I would, like, joke when I was flirting with him and I'd be like, oh, I'm, like, so obsessed with you, like, da 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 da, and he'd be like, no, don't say that, like, that's bad, like, that's bad to be obsessed with someone, like, whatever. And I feel like he was taking it to a place where it's like, okay, like, I'm kidding and I'm flirting with you and, like, whatever, I don't, like, mean you're not gonna become my end all be all, like, buddy, I'm fine. But, like, I get why he would think that, because it's like, I feel like people do have a habit of, like, going too far onto the end of, like, saying those things becomes being that.
Right, because I've said, like, I'm so obsessed with you to people where, like, I genuinely meant it. I was actually obsessed with them. And then you say I'm so obsessed with you when you're just flirting. Yeah, it's
flirting,
like, like, obsessed with just how you do everything. Like, I want to fuck you. Like
I'm gassing you because it's like, I'm gassing you because I'm, like, I'm being playful and I'm being da-da-da. Like, I'm not being, like,
and
I'm
that's
about
like
to give up my left leg for you. Like,
yeah, and I think the obsessed word is just, like, the stalking on Instagram word. It's just, like, the words our generation and people use is not always the smartest, because I think just if someone actually is obsessed with you like that, it is off-putting. And again, I've been on both ends. Like, I feel like I've had people obsessed with me and I felt really weird. And then I've genuinely been obsessed with other people.
Yeah.
So I get it both ways, but yeah, that's fucking, of course he was like, don't say that.
Yeah, he definitely had, like, the avoidant attachment type of shit, which, like, I understand. And, like, that's honestly why I fucked with him, because I feel like I was doing things in, like, a playful way and he was like, whoa, that's not healthy. And I'm like, no, like, I'm like kidding, kind of, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know how to be a lover girl. I'm trying this shit out. Like, I don't fucking know. But yeah, I feel like,
like, what are we supposed to say?
Like, what am I supposed to do? Like, this is me trying to be soft. But yeah, I feel like you just gotta, like, check yourself, because, like, being in pain and losing yourself and all of that is not beautiful. It's tragic and it's sad and it's a loss of identity, and it's like, it's gonna take you a while to, like, heal from that. And I feel like because of, like, maybe it's like the Tumblr we grew up with, or, like, the media, like, romanticizes it, like, women are, like, fed this, like, accept the bare minimum, like, keep loving him. Like, I don't know what the fuck, but, like, I want to stop all that because it's not good.
Right. Because this tragic struggle love shit, that's not what being a woman is. That's not what being a real woman is. Like, holding it down through everything. Because my ex used to say that shit too. Like, you have to hold it down. Like,
Bottom
shit's
bitch.
gonna happen.
My ex would say that too. He was like, you have to be, like, a bottom bitch. You got to hold it. Like, and
I'm like, no, I don't.
No. And I did all that, guys. Like, I literally feel like we were the definition of, like, bottom bitches holding it down, putting this man above us. And, like, it leaves you with an identity
even more
crisis.
so, because you were, like, paying for his existence. Like,
I
at least
mean,
mine, like, had
bail.
money.
I moved, like, I literally, like, sacrificed a lot of shit. But, like, it's not, I don't feel good being like, I did all that. Like, in a way, you're like, oh, I proved I'm a ride or die. But, like, you can prove all that, and it's not gonna, it rarely works out. Like, we're sold the trope that it's gonna, like, work out and they're gonna appreciate you because you get to the top together. But, like, 9 times out of 10, look at Jada Waita. Like, I mean, I don't know the ins and outs of their relationship, but she was with Lil Baby, and, like, he got famous. She's famous too, but, like, they're not together anymore, you know? So, like, I don't want to like project, say I know about their relationship, but like Cardi B is another example that I like think of. And like, I feel like it's complicated because I did see one tweet about like, you know how Offset cheated on her again or like whatever went down, like they're not together. And someone was like, oh, well, like this is like why you shouldn't hold a man down because like she was at the top of her career and then she got pregnant and she started doing music full time and da-da-da. And it's like, I think it's different with Cardi B because let's not like discount her. Like she is still a fucking powerful woman. And I don't think that like she completely sacrificed shit just for him. Like she is still at the top, but from an emotional capacity, yeah, definitely. Like, you know, like she tried to do the ride or die, say when he cheats, like whatever, and it didn't work out. So it's like, I don't know.
Even Cardi B, y'all. Like if she can't do it, we definitely can't do it.
Right.
So
so I guess we can do the being forced to act like Future one first. Like it's here, we'll play the TikTok. So pretty much, if you guys are just listening and not watching, it says point of view, you're really a lover girl, but you want to be, or you're being forced to act like Future. And the song is like, you know, me and Mr. Wrong get along so well, blah, 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 blah. And she's sliding down the wall in distress. And I can relate to this. Like, I feel like we all can when it's like, you're trying to be the mysterious woman or you're trying to be like detached when you really are a lover girl. That I feel like it's not as harmful. It's like,
right, because if you're trying to be like something you're not, like you're gonna have a breaking point at some point. Like you can't just try out the mysterious girl if you're not, because it's gonna hurt more. And I'm telling you, that's what I really did in my open relationships. I pretended like I didn't care they were, you know, moaning other bitches' names. But really I did, and that shit will eat you the fuck alive and make you look 10 times crazier than if you had just been honest in the first place. Because then it's like, well, why did you lie and say you were okay with it when you're not? Like,
right.
What kind of self-esteem do you have? You know what I mean? And that's why it's like lover girls like holding it down through all this shit. But it's like to hold it, like your self-esteem's got to be pretty fucking low to go through all, you know, this. And it's like, it's sad, but it's like, that's what it was for us. Like, you know, if I hope to God I wouldn't let anyone treat me the way he did again, you know? So it's just like, I don't know. But yeah, being forced to, every time we bring up Future, I just
But in a way,
Future
it
so
can
much.
be like good because it's like, say she's with Mr. Nonchalant or whatever, and like she wants to be a lover girl, but he's not giving her the right. Like she should turn around and act like Future and leave him and start fucking with other people. So like if that's what, like joking about it and like whatever, if that helps you like adopt these qualities of just more self-assuredness, like leaving him alone, like all of that, I feel like that's good rather than clinging on to your identity as a lover girl and staying through some bullshit, you know? Like maybe you need to like leave and move on. So like, I don't know. I don't think that one's as bad.
Yeah. And then talking a little bit about love bombing, I feel like love bombing has like been like not a new thing, but like a relatively new thing, like trending online that people are doing. And it's like weird, right? Because I feel like the lover girls definitely be love bombing and they kind of want to be love bombed back.
Yes.
Because I feel like they want to be loved bombed. They're maybe not well. And so they have, you know, all, and I definitely don't relate to this part of being a lover girl at all. I don't think I've ever once love bombed in my life. Like maybe my exes can say differently, but I really don't think I have. Like maybe with words, but when I picture love bombing, it's kind of like just moving too fast and like assuming that you're like higher up in that person's life like than you are because y'all just met 2 days ago.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And whatever it is, just like calling you constantly, sending you stuff, like whatever it might look like, you know, it's just, it's not good. And it's very much giving like insecure, you know, and that's why I think it turns people off a lot. But I think it's funny because there's like TikToks that's like beware of love bombers, but then you have these lover girls on TikTok that like they really do, I feel like, want to be love bombed.
Yeah.
But I sure as hell fucking don't. That's so stressful.
There's a common like meme thing or whatever where it's like, oh, like I don't understand love bombing because it makes sense that someone would love me after like 2 days or whatever. And it's like, I've always been so turned off by that shit because to me, you're right, it gives insecurity and it gives, you don't know me, you just want someone to love, so you're just,
it's not
throwing all this
genuine
shit. It's not real. But the thing about all this stuff too, and I feel like when we get into Mysterious Girls also, like, some of those memes and some of these like TikToks are like funny, and I feel like they're like supposed to be like women coping and like humor that we use to like make fun of ourselves and like heal. And even like the poetry thing is like, it's cathartic to like let it out and like whatever, like at least they're like talking about it and stuff like that, because you see in the comments like, girl, you deserve better, like da 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 da. So like, and I love a good self-deprecating like satire meme. Same. I love all that shit. Like, we post a lot of those on our like So Wet So Dry page. So I feel like it's like if you're using it as satire and if you're just like being funny or like whatever. But I have noticed too, like with the guy I was talking to, like I post a lot of those memes, and I think he thought that like, or even like TikToks that we'll do like about our episodes, that like that's how I really look at like love or like look at things or like whatever. But it's like I'm posting these because they'll go, I want them to go viral, or it's like funny and relatable. It's not exactly like who I am or the place I'm in right now. Maybe it used to be. Right. Kind of thing. So I feel like it's like, I feel like there's a lot. The cool thing is there's all this like humor and all this relatability going on around a lot of women that we can laugh at, and we can be like, we relate to that. But like men don't get it, which is fine. They don't fucking need to. But we also have to like be careful with it and be like, all right, like, you know, keep your head on straight in between all of this.
Yeah, like, let's not get toxic with it, because I say toxic and do toxic things, like, you know, arguably all the time. So I get it, you know what I mean? But I do think in terms of us just talking about it and, like, how much power, like, TikTok has, it can be detrimental, and we don't want guys to, like, look at us that way and think we're for real. Yeah. But it's like some women really are for real, and that's what scares me. But we do it in, like, a joking way, being like, yes, maybe this is how I feel or how I used to feel. I know it's wrong, but I still feel this way, and it's relatable. We're all feeling it. So, yeah, it's like a double-edged sword with these things. But ultimately, I do think it's doing well because it is, like, uniting women and stuff.
Yeah, I feel like overall, as long as we can, like, look at both sides and not get too stuck into one algorithm that's, like, whatever, then you can be like, okay, like, I have lover girl qualities and it's rough out here in the fucking dating game, but like, I'm not gonna lose my head, like, you know?
Right. And I'm not gonna, like, you know, stay with, you know, the bare minimum and all that bullshit and be a pick-me. But it's like, we're the lover girl part about like wearing your heart on your sleeve and being like vocal about your emotions, like that's the part that I like. I feel like that I definitely am. And it has been detrimental because yes, you can get hurt if you're directly saying, you know, how you feel. You do have that consequence of someone like shutting you down, and that's why the mysterious girl just doesn't say anything, because she's trying to protect herself. But it's like, if you're gonna be out there and put your heart on your sleeve, like, you better be ready to also like be ready to deal with what happens. Otherwise, it's like, then what was all of that even for? So
and that's why I think therapy is super important, because like I feel like as we get into mysterious women, like that's much more what I was as in terms of protecting myself. But I had that conversation with my therapist, and she's like, I'm like, well, what if I get hurt? Like, what if I just say what I need and blah, blah, blah? And she's like, well, you will. Like, it's going to happen. It's inevitable. Like, it's not just loving the wrong people. It could be loving someone better. Like we talked about in our Bad Boys episode, like, you could, like, it might hurt more to be, like, have your heart broken by someone who's not a bad boy, so you're going to, like, avoid it. But, like, either way, when you're vulnerable, it's opening yourself up to potentially getting hurt. And, like, you just have to accept that and, like, figure out what's the truest to yourself. And, like, if you're a lover girl, that's fine and that's, like, beautiful. So, like, do that, you know? Okay, so let's talk about the mysterious girl. And I'm going to be real, it was a little bit harder for me to find, like, stuff about the mysterious girl. Like, because I feel like there's more about, like, the nonchalant man that we're going to get into in the next episode. But there's, like, it's more, I don't know if mysterious girl is necessarily her name as much as, like, nonchalant woman. Like, there's all these different terms. But the majority of TikTok, like, when they're talking about the mysterious girl, it's, like, this unattainable standard that women are trying to, like, get to. And it's,
which
like,
is very bad.
which is very, very bad. It's giving like those like early 2000s like Cosmo articles or like even 17 magazine where it's like how to blah, blah, blah. And it's like pretty much how to change who you are as a person to be more appealing to men or whatever the fuck. Another like segment of the mysterious girl that I don't really have any TikToks about because I feel like most people listening will probably know what I'm talking about. If not, go on TikTok and search Sprinkle Sprinkle Lady. But I think the Sprinkle Lady this is the other side of it where some of it is to appeal to men, but like some of it is to finesse, like we talked about in our polls, and like kind of like come up. And the biggest thing with the Sprinkle Lady is like, you know, don't talk too much, don't overshare, don't do any of that. Just be like, okay, like you're nonchalant, whatever, because you're trying to allure him and he wants to know like more about you so that you can finesse him. And then the other camp of things without the Sprinkle Lady is like be mysterious because you want to be like a rich wife. And like you're trying to appeal to this like rich man that doesn't want his woman to say too much. So there's like the part of it being like a lot of it's misogynistic. Some of it is using the patriarchy and misogyny to come up. The other part of it, that both of it, I guess, it's kind of like using this male gaze to your benefit, whether that is to become a rich housewife or to become like a man eater. But a lot of what's on TikTok is kind of toxic, but at the same time, like when I was like going through these TikToks and like through therapy and stuff, I'm like, yeah, like I do some of this stuff. Like I feel like I shouldn't overshare, or I feel like I should like be distant or da-da-da because it's like more internalized things that I wasn't even necessarily like thinking of as much as it's like ingrained in us, you know?
Right.
How to be the mysterious girl. Don't speak about yourself too much and don't overshare. The more people know about you, the less mysterious you become. Instead, let them speak about themselves. The more people speak about themselves, the more they feel like they connect with you. That way the conversation can go smoothly without you having to talk about yourself too much. And because people don't know much about you, they always wonder who you are and what you're up to.
Here are my tips on how to be the mysterious girl. So how I would define the mysterious girl. She is infatuating because nobody can predict her next move. Everybody wants to know what she's doing and everybody wants to be her. So today, I'm gonna show you how. The mysterious girl does not overshare. She contributes just enough to keep people interested, but not enough for people to actually know anything about her. The mysterious girl has her close friends and family. The mysterious girl is not blacking out at a frat party. We don't know what the mysterious girl is doing, but what we do know about the mysterious girl is she's doing something right. She's bettering herself. She's reading books. She's drinking matcha. Everybody wants to be like the mysterious girl, but they don't know how. And don't get me wrong, the mysterious girl is going out. The mysterious girl is hanging out with her friends. The mysterious girl is going to clubs. But the mysterious girl does not kiss and tell. The mysterious girl moves in silence. The mysterious girl is anti-Instagram, but has the best feed. The mysterious girl is posting stories 2 months later. The mysterious girl is never in drama because she doesn't associate herself with drama. She is elite because people want information on her that she's not giving. I would love to be the mysterious girl, but I am not the mysterious girl because I share my whole life on social media, which is probably my toxic trait. But we should all emulate the mysterious girl because she's not a part of drama. She's doing things for herself and she's living her best life. What's better than having the people talk, but they have nothing to talk about?
And I think, you know, I struggle with a lot of things, but I think I don't struggle with that. I think that I'm like able, like I'm definitely an oversharer, like with the person on the plane, like next to me. Like I don't know. I think it's detrimental no matter if it's good or bad for people on TikTok, like the TikTok we just played. Like, no shade against that creator, but I don't know why it just, like, really pissed me off. Like, the way she was, like, she's drinking her matcha. She's working on herself. Like, bitch, shut the fuck up. Like, we're all working on ourselves. Like, it's just, like, this is the woman that you want to be. This is the woman that'll help you get the relationship. It's just, like, it's so bad. And it's not like we shouldn't have, like, you know, aspiring, like, people to look up to, but, like, an aspiring archetype to be just, like, doesn't sit well with me, like, at all. whether it's good or bad, it's relatable, it's not relatable. Like, I just think it's fucking trash. So, but at the same time, like, if I was just scrolling through this on TikTok, I wouldn't think twice about it. But it's like now that we're like sitting having a conversation about it, I'm like realizing how, because I'm like kind of tapped out of the matrix right now.
Yeah.
But normally day to day, like I'm tapped into the matrix. So it's kind of just like, yeah, it is what it is. But I don't know. I just think it's so fucked up.
Yeah, I think like the how-to videos are like definitely the fucking worst because it's so much of it is just like misogyny and
it's
making
always like a
yourself
white
smaller.
blonde girl. Like, I don't.
Yeah, and even this girl, she's like, I'm not a mysterious woman. I share my life online, like da da da. But like, we should all be like her. And it's like, at least she's like recognizing, oh, that's not me. But like, we can love women that aren't like me, like whatever. But like, it's just this unattainable standard that's like not real. And so much of it is just like patriarchy. Like, it kind of also reminds me of like girl bosses and like the women who like made it to the top. And it's like, oh, you've got to like be more corporate, or you have to be like, you know, just adopt these like either masculine qualities or these qualities that like make you less of a person so that you're more accepted by who's around you. And
Yeah.
I don't like that.
Yeah, it's all just kind of like, and I don't know why the fuck this is coming to my head right now, but the song Positions by Ariana Grande, do you even know that song? Like,
I
you
think
definitely
so.
don't.
I can't think of the words, but like vaguely.
It's so, I can't, that's honestly very cool. How do you, okay. But anyways, so yeah, it's, the whole song is like, I'm switching the positions for you. I'm in the kitchen cooking, then I'm in the bedroom, and it's like all this shit, and it's just like, I don't know. And it's like, you see these women on TikTok of what we want to be. It's like they drink coffee in the morning, they go to a coffee shop, they go on a hot girl walk. Like, I can't. Like, the girl bossing era, like, it's all so twisted.
And that's why, like, I feel like I'm more towards like liking lover girl. Like, again, like, fuck these archetypes, like whatever, but like I feel like so much of being the mysterious girl is this like not recognizing that you're human, that you like get your period, or that you like wake up in your pajamas and like your makeup's not done. Like, so much of it is just like you're this like perfect person that no one knows anything about, and like always they want to know, and like whatever. And it comes from, I think, a lot of like just media and like these flat one-dimensional characters that we see in like movies. And, like, a lot of it is also this, like, tragic, like, it's actually funny because I was talking to Autumn before this about, like, some shit that happened, and I was talking to her about, like, a conversation I had with my male friend. And, like, I feel like he was kind of giving that, like, oh, like, you're tortured, like, tell me what's wrong, like, blah, 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 blah. Like, I feel like mysterious girls can be seen as these, like, depressed, unfulfilled, tortured, tragic women that, like, just need to, like, open up to someone. And, like, there was another TikTok that I didn't put in here, but it was this guy like dressed as a woman, and he was like pretending to be the mysterious girl in movies, and like the more depressed one. And he was like they're always just like sadly like smoking a cigarette by the fence, like, you don't understand.
That's literally you.
Like, literally. But, like, I feel like at a time, I was way more, like, on the, like, you don't understand me. Like, I get, like, whatever. But, like, and now I'm, like, on the vibe of, like, bro, like, sometimes I just keep things private because I don't need to tell everybody my whole life. And that's, like, but I come on the podcast and I overshare a ton. So it's, like, I'm not, like, we put it into boxes where it's, like, I don't know. Like, I feel like I have mysterious girl qualities, but I don't subscribe to, like, that you have to be, like, socially awkward, distant, shy, tragic, depressed, and, like, a man just needs to save you, because I think that's what it gives, too, in a weird way.
Right.
You know?
And I also think, like, oversharing on the podcast is, like, so fucking easy, because at the end of the day, I'm literally just talking to you. Like, sometimes I forget that, like, who knows who's going to watch this? Maybe 600 people, like the 600 views on Gender Wars. I'm still just like, what the fuck? Like, what did I say? Because I'll come on here and say things that I haven't even dealt with yet in my life. And I've literally, and people are be like, oh, like, you can't talk to me about it, but you talked about it on the podcast. I'm like, yeah, I don't know. Like, I can't explain it to you. I don't know. But I think what I'm gathering so far in this conversation, like, we're mid to halfway done, I'm just like, I think what we should do is, like, take the qualities from the mysterious girl as, like, not really taking any shit, like not moving too fast and like being hot and cute and working on yourself, and take the qualities of the lover girls of like wearing your heart on your sleeve and just being open and honest, and just leave the other shit, because at the end of the day, there's like too much bad associated with both ones for me that I don't want to identify as either of them. You feel me?
No, I don't either. And I feel like, honestly, like before I even knew of either of these fucking archetypes, like I feel like I've been going through that journey myself. Like even when we started the podcast, like it was a thing between me and Autumn where I was like, didn't want to share certain shit about like my dating life or like whatever, because I was like paranoid about
and look
people.
at you now, baby.
Look at me now. Like I share a lot. Like I was like very paranoid about people like knowing too much about my life. But it's like, that's like this weird like oversharing and trauma dumping is definitely a thing, but like with certain people, but like on our podcast, like I realize like our whole thing is we're trying to be like real and open, and like what am I doing? Just like not being myself by like
right, and we're not forcing anyone to listen. Like you're trauma dumping on someone IRL. That's completely different. Like if you don't want to listen to our podcast, fucking don't. Like you know what I mean? Like we're just seeing throwing some spaghetti at the wall, bitch. I don't know what we're doing, but yeah, I just think like, and exactly like we try to be as raw as possible, but I don't know. I think overall this episode, it's almost like a downer, because I feel like it's like we sometimes like when you overthink something, I'm looking at it as like so negative. I'm like, ew, like lover girls, mysterious girls, they both suck. They're both pick-me's, but it's like, I need to like, bring it down a notch and just like, our society is what it is. We're on fucking TikTok chronically, and like all these little memes and personality archetypes are there. So it's like we just have to learn to live with it. But I do think it's detrimental. I really do. I think like, I don't know.
And I think that's like a lot of like with women on TikTok. Like I go on to like entertain myself, but I do go on like, watch tarot card readings and try to cope with shit and like listen to other women. Like we're connecting with other women, and that's why it can be dangerous if you're not like taking a step back from it and being like, okay, whoa, like maybe I don't need to change myself 1,000% and like whatever, and like adhere to more of this shit, because I feel like a lot of it too comes from being like insecure on both sides,
right? Right, and it's like just changing yourself to be more attractive and more easy to love. Like it's fucked up,
Right, exactly. And so the last like really part, well, there's two parts. Since I mentioned the insecurity shit, I'll like talk about this TikTok. This is pretty much just a girl on the screen with words and a song, but I'll just read the words. She said, me trying to explain that nonchalance is literally just a coping mechanism for those who had been continuously let down in relationships. You begin to believe that in the end you'll get hurt, so might as well stay detached and not give a fuck by appearing unfazed. You can gain a sense of control over your relationships that you once didn't have power in, but being nonchalant creates anxiety in your partner, leading them to lose feelings and leave, furthering your ideology that you have to not care to protect yourself. And like that's a lot, but like, bro, relate so fucking hard. Like it's really just this like front against like protecting yourself from being hurt, but it just fucking comes back to bite you.
Right, because I can, on the other side, like I really think my second girlfriend was definitely nonchalant. That bitch did not want to talk about her feelings. Like she just straight up couldn't talk about shit that like actually like was fucking real. Like she just wouldn't let me in like that. And like, she did leave me because I was trying to be the ride or die mentality, taking all the shit with all the punches. But anyways, like at the end of the day, I would hope that I would have left too, because like that's what being, mysterious does. It really does give that other partner anxiety, because yes, it's like reeling them in, but it's not gonna work long term. And then exactly, you're, as the mysterious one, you're just reinforced that like everyone's leaving. But I honestly feel like the only way to like really find true love and happiness is to be like wearing your heart on your sleeve. And that's why you, with this last partner you were with or fucking around with or whatever, like at least you walked away from that being like, I told you how I felt. Exactly. Was I embarrassed about it? No. Like this is how I felt. We spent so much fucking time together. Like sue me, bro. Like you're treating me like a girlfriend. I'm so sorry I caught feelings. Like, I don't know what to tell you. So, and I think that's that's your strength, and that was your power in that relationship, and you did have the upper hand because you didn't leave. He was the one not saying things, and he was the one, dancing around real shit. But you actually said it, and so I don't know. The mysterious thing, it ain't gonna work forever, and it's just gonna be detrimental to you in the long run. But I think all fun and games, be mysterious, because it does make bitches want to fuck you.
Yeah, in the beginning, I think it can be helpful just in keeping things like moving slow and like not like projecting your like love onto this person before you really know them. Like that shit, I'm still like mysterious all the way. I'm still like I'm for mysterious shit when it comes to building sexual tension and when it comes to like not like monopolizing your partner's brain and like shit like
and
that.
not like love bombing, like love bombing. No love bombing.
We fucking hate that. But the last part of this, I'll play this TikTok really quick. And I feel like this is less about relationships, but more about the identity of a mysterious woman.
Are you trying to be a mysterious girl and be in your mysterious girl era? Here are 3 things you need to consider first. So Lily Rose Depp has been crowned the queen of this mysterious girl aesthetic. She's got 2 million followers on Instagram. She's posted 250 times. But we need to remember there's a direct correlation between nepotism and this mysterious girl. She hasn't gained 2 million followers from her 200 posts. She can afford to do the occasional modelling job and have a quiet life. I think people are trying to create a commodity out of themselves and be influencers online while still being this mysterious girl, and they don't go hand in hand. I can safely say you can't be a content creator or a person of influence and be mysterious at the same time. Again, I'm not saying everyone here is wanting to be an influencer. This is just more from like a branding perspective. Unfortunately, relatability is a commodity at the moment, so you need to overexpose yourself. And people are saying, Lara Bingle, she's in her mysterious girl era. Well, no, remember she had to do being Lara Bingle. She had to put herself out there. She had to overexpose herself. She's now reached a level of wealth and money where she can actually back off and not have to expose herself as much. And this brings me on to my second point of with mystery comes wealth and money.
So I feel like the biggest thing that she says out of that, which makes a lot of sense to me, and I see a lot of girls do this online where they're posting these like mysterious like dumps, like photo dumps and shit, and like making
it's like
their life look like
they're zoomed in on one picture, it's the left corner in the next slide. Like, why do they have to be so extra with it?
Yeah, it's like a lot of girls are it's either that, or you have the girls that I feel like are a little bit more like us, where it's like you're oversharing because you're trying to be a content creator and be like relatable.
This is who I am.
And like
I'm
all
raw.
that shit. Right. Like I don't give a fuck, like know who I am, whatever. But like I like the idea of having like a quiet life and people not knowing. Like we say all the time that like, eventually we'd like to like not have the podcast and like step into more like creating art and like whatever. But like a lot of that is a class thing. And so like this mysterious girl, and why we all want to be it to a degree, is because it's for like the rich nepotism babies that have the like privilege of being able to not share their life because they can do a modeling job and they can post these like quiet pictures and still get like 1,000 million likes on them and like have all these followers. Like they can afford that, and like because they have a whole PR team that's like managing what they say and like they don't say. So we're kind of commodifying it in a weird way, and like I feel like that's just something that's like important to remember, because like if you want to be a content creator, you can't really be mysterious. I mean, maybe if you're a model and you do a certain type of content, like I'm not saying it's completely like a class thing, but I feel like when it comes to the mysterious girl and the archetype that we're trying to be, like it's the nepotism baby that has this privilege. You know?
Like the Kardashians just like come to mind immediately, because I feel like they like do both. Like they essentially came up on being like so fucking raw, like sex tapes, reality show, like reality TV, which we all know reality TV is real, but it's also scripted and produced at the same time. There are producers on the whole set telling them like, oh, Kylie, go fuck around with your sister. And so, yes, it's real, but it's also like it is kind of controlled. It's in a controlled type of environment with producers around. But then it's like they don't really like let you in, because it's only been like like this year that like I remember like Kylie Jenner said something, and some like Hulu trailer for their next season when she's like, we need to like think about the body standards we're setting, because they've never talked about body shit ever. And it's like, that's not letting us in. And it is being kind of mysterious because like, why are you guys like just not talking about like how much control that you have over everyone and like what it means to be beautiful and like sexy and like all that shit. And so it's like, I really think they do both. Like essentially they try to let us in, but we're not in. Like these Kardashian people, they're mafia, bitch. They be working with people. I'm a conspiracist. Like I think the Kardashians.
No, they have like the way that they can like build and create their narratives, like the way that like Chris has done. Like
they're
it's
psychopaths.
all overproduced. Like they do that intentionally to just give you enough.
So it's real, but it's not. They want us to think it is, but it's not really. And so that's why it's like what she's saying, like you can't be a mysterious girl where you're content creating, but I think you can trick people that you fucking are or whatever.
And I also feel like it's like look at Kylie. Like I feel like Kylie used to be, she's always been kind of mysterious, but she was like way more funny and like whatever on like Instagram, like on Tumblr. Like that shit. But then like now she's had a baby and she's richer. She's like a billionaire or whatever. Like she can afford to like pop in and out of the episodes and not like have everything everywhere.
She's barely in the episodes, bro.
She's barely in it. So it's like, yeah, I feel like Lily Rose Depp is definitely a good example. Even her character in what was that show? The one with The Weeknd, like that whole show that got canceled and shit.
So fucking triggering. I know exactly what you're talking about. The Idol.
Like in The Idol, she was like that. Like other mysterious girls that I thought of like were Bella from Twilight, more like the like tragic mysterious whatever. Like Maddie from Euphoria.
So tragic mysterious Bella.
And Maddie from Euphoria is weird because she's got this is like we said, it's not one or the other. She's got the lover girl ride or die shit, but she's also got the mysterious, untouchable, you can't fuck with me shit going on. So it's like, it's kind of like both.
I think she's like she's you in a sense, where she's like the mysterious girl when you first meet her. But as you can see, but it's also like when you bring abuse into it, you don't really have as much say as if you're going to be a ride or die because you're being manipulated. Yeah. So that's why I think it's tricky. Yeah. But she does definitely kind of give ride or die.
Yeah, 100%.
But she's being manipulated and she's scared for her life because Nate's a fucking psychopath.
Yeah, fuck Nate. Like, ew.
Ew.
But yeah, I feel like that's pretty much the mysterious girl. Like she's this unattainable person. She's probably definitely got some like insecurity, like maybe socially awkwardness, shyness going on in there.
Like Rue is kind of a mysterious girl with Jules too.
Yeah, because she's distant. And that's why I think like the attachment stuff comes in. Like lover girl gives anxious attachment and like mysterious girl gives avoidant attachment. You know, so it like makes sense why like, but I feel like being a mysterious girl identifying most, like I've gone after mysterious people too. So I don't know.
Yeah. So this super normalized, like half in, half out, like give the world a little bit, but not too much is like obviously, you know, very normalized in our society. And we found this like in this article we read. And the article goes more into how this is like, you know, not as common with the older generations. Like your mom doesn't get like your Hinge messages and like all that shit because it was different. Like they don't get the undefined relationship, the situationship, the wishy-washy we choose to live in. So more from the article, it says like, it's just this unspoken rule that you can't be too mushy or too lovey-dovey because it's not chill. We never really see their full flaws because we never get there. So then we romanticize them more and we put them on pedestals. And I feel like we can all totally relate to that just in our own relationships. And also like thinking about celebrities, because I'm always just like, you know, Drew Afewalo, Fletcher, they're fucking perfect. And I damn know well they're not. Like everyone has flaws, but like, yeah, anyways. That's just a part of like romanticizing in general. But when you get this like added level of like people that are being mysterious, it just takes it over the top. And they know that and they profit off of it, literally.
Exactly.
And then basically Josh Smith, a couples and family counselor at Relate, says this idea of knowing but not knowing someone, whether it's a situationship or casual date, creates the perfect conditions for delulu behavior. we know often so little about the other person that there's a lot of space for us to project onto them our hopes, dreams, and things we might want. It's not necessarily sexy to communicate about those things in a straightforward way, because what's kind of erotic is what's often mysterious and unsaid about its subtext. When we go into relationship, often it's very unclear what's going on, but that's partly what is sexy about it. That's the whole mystery of the kind of erotic stranger. The reason that we're delusional is because we're confused. If people were honest about how they felt, we wouldn't have to tell ourselves lies and be like, oh, he's just busy. He's got a lot going on. So I feel like you can relate to that a lot because you love like the mysterious man and all that shit. So I think that's so fucking funny. And I think it's so funny when like therapists are like, it's not sexy to communicate. Like, yeah, it's fucking not, bro. Like, but they still want us to. Like,
I know. And that's like the like complicated, like I feel like this dynamic of like how Gen Z and like we're doing these relationships where like you have Hinge profiles and you're trying to figure them out online, or say you did meet them in person or like whatever. It's like whenever you're getting to know someone, like it's sexy to not completely know about them, and that's why people play the manipulative-ish, like mysterious games, because like it can be sexy, but that also creates this environment where we have like so many people trying to do that it's also creating a lot of delulu lover girls that are like sick of doing that and like sick of having it done to them. So I feel like we're just living in this like crazy dating environment that like feeds both things and tries to make us go one way or the other.
Right.
You know?
Because it's interesting, too, because it almost kind of feels like everyone kind of wants to be the mysterious girl and no one really wants to be the lover girl. When at the end of the day, we're all kind of lover girls because we're humans that love. Like, you know what I mean?
Right.
Like, we're, like, yes, there's some people that, like, don't really, they're not very emotional. But, like, no, like, we're all fucking lover girls for the right person, bro. Like,
well, there's, like, asexual people and shit like that.
Okay, yeah, you're right.
That
Correct.
don't, whatever. But, like, yeah, I agree. Like, we're all human. And, like, I think not all of us, but most people that are, like, out and dating, like, deep down want like at least a meaningful and real connection. Like there are people who are in a healing phase that just want sex or just want like they're more like private and detached from things. But like if you're dating because you want to meet your person, then you want love, you know. But like it's kind of like this balance of being like not moving too quickly because like that's not healthy, but also like being open about what you want.
It's exhausting, bro. And I honestly think, like, especially what they say in this article, it's like the mysterious, you know, we'll put gender away from it, but it's like the mysterious person and the lover person. Like, they're a match hand in hand, bro, because the lover person is going to take the mysterious person's shit of, like, not giving them all and, like, eat that shit right up, you know? So it's like, it's fucking dangerous out here, kids. I'm nervous.
Yeah, and it kind of goes back to what we said in, like, past episodes about, like, how it's, like, our responsibility to a degree to, like, choose who we want to, like, give our love and time to if we know that we want genuine love. And, like, both of us don't really know where we are in that. Like, we talked about that in our last episode about, like, 2024, 2023 dating trends and stuff. Like, but, like, if I'm going to be real with myself, I think I do want, like, real love and a genuine connection. And, like, I am really a lover girl, but, like, I'm not going to give up some of my mysterious girl qualities because I feel like it does help me protect myself to a degree. But like when the time is right, then I can open up and be a lover girl. Like it's like balancing both of those and not letting like society or this other person's behavior like kind of make you feel like you need to change yourself.
Yeah, and it's who you are. Like it's not like you tried to be a mysterious girl. Like those things about you just, it's been like that since the day I met you. Like even like our friendship obviously grew, but you don't just like let people fucking in like that, you know? Like, and you do to an extent, but I also think you're intuitive, so you can tell if the person is like, you know, trustworthy or whatever. Not talking about relationships, more talking just about like in general, because we all know you sometimes. But anyways, so, but and I think the not wanting to change yourself, like, because I really kind of relate like the lover girl, mysterious girl. It's almost like lover girl's a good girl. Mysterious girl is like a bad girl. Yeah. And I feel like I don't know. I feel like I am a lover girl, but I also think like back to that TikTok we watched about like, you know, this man is always going to have a soft spot in his heart for you if you do this. Like, I definitely like felt that in relationships. Yeah. And I feel like I wanted to take on the identity of a lover girl even more than I already was, because I thought that that was like the fucking key to holding it down. So it's like at the end of the day, it's like, yeah, it's like just be yourself, and it's not like wanting to change for anyone else, because at the end of the day, if being a lover girl, a mysterious girl was just about you, it would be different. But it's about like, what is the right way to go in terms of how can I find love and who will want me and like what will be the best for the relationship. But it's like being the best for the relationship is just being your fucking self. Bitch.
Exactly. Period. That's pretty much it. So
right.
you want to get into what we're wet, dry, and confused about, and leave you guys hopefully with a shred of hope.
Yeah, like we always do. I would say like I'm definitely wet just about like learning more about it, because like I feel like at the beginning I didn't really fucking know what was gonna happen. I didn't know what I thought. Like I didn't want to. Yeah. But now I feel very confident in what I think, and I really think we just need to like pull the qualities that are representative to our identity and just like roll with it and not get caught up in like the black and white and binariness of like these archetypes trending in our faces 24/7.
Yeah.
Because any TikTok creator telling you like be like this to get bitch, what? Like, I didn't even think that shit still exists. It's definitely not as in my algorithm, but Fiji's on TikTok all the time. I'm not really on it as much. So maybe, but I'm just like, that's so crazy to me. So like, I'm wet that like we can see that like that's insane. And like, we need to just be ourselves and not fall into one of these categories, because we could maybe be telling you guys like, oh, you should be a lover girl. Like, imagine if we were doing that. That'd be crazy.
Yeah, I'm definitely wet about that too. Like, I'm wet about like my own journey and
Here
growth,
we go.
as we say every fucking episode. But in like, because I feel like I've fallen into feeling like, oh, I need to be like more like this, or oh, I need to be like more like that. Like, no, I just need to be like myself, and like both qualities on both sides are like fine. I'm also wet about like, because I still love the like self-deprecating whatever memes for both of them. Like, even if I like, sometimes I'll relate to it a little bit, sometimes I don't, but like they can be funny. And I also love that like women are just coming together like more on TikTok and like making a space for humor for just women and stuff that like we can relate to and like cope with together. I think it's a double-edged sword, and it can be dangerous if you just get into this like silo of like this algorithm that's just feeding you one thing. But like overall, I think it's just like good that we're talking about different types of women and like women coming together and just like sharing experiences. I think that's very wet for sure. For dry, I feel like, kind of like I said, like with any talking about this stuff too much, I feel like women, like, because we're like commodified so much, like our bodies, our personalities, like our like makeup, like the lip gloss, like what this says about you, like the personality test can be like fun and they can be cute and like they should just be that. But like I am still dry that I feel like it's almost just so ingrained in us where we feel like we have to like identify ourselves and put ourselves into these boxes when identity is way more complicated.
Yeah.
And I'm definitely dry about like the dating situationship stuff that like puts us in this place. Yeah.
Yeah. I feel like I'm I'm almost dry that I am like so attracted to like the mysterious woman or like nonchalant man or whoever, like those types of, because it's like it just feeds it even more. And the fact that we're also attracted to it just makes people want to like do it more, and it's more of like a thing when it shouldn't be a thing. Everyone should just be themselves. But I feel like I have outgrown it a little bit, but not enough as I'd want to. So like I'm just dry about that. Like I do kind of, like a mysterious person is all fun and games, but at the end of the day, like they don't know how to communicate sometimes. So it's like that's not going to hold your relationship. So I'm dry about that, but I definitely am attracted to mysterious people. And I think that will live on in 2024. But I think we just have to remember to keep our heads on straight. And I think I'm just confused why like women like aren't able to like uplift and relate to each other without like having all this misogyny around it, because it's like that's what we like about the lover girl TikToks and all that. It's like it's relatable, it's cute, it's like we're being vocal and real with ourselves. But at the end of the day, like, it does surround so much misogyny is centered around, like, be a lover girl to keep the man, or be a mysterious girl to hurt the man. Like, it's all just about that, when I wish it was just about us.
Yeah, and that's like what I'm confused about, because I feel like some of these like TikToks where they're giving you advice, like if you are a lover girl and they're like, oh, like leave him alone, like be like center yourself more. Like some of it can be very positive and some of it can be like big sister talks, like, you know, like trying to uplift women. Like I think a lot of it is very like well-intentioned, but like I'm confused about like just weeding through that and that line, because like I do think like we can learn a lot from like other women based off of like their experiences and how they've gone about relationships. Like me and Autumn are like very different in our relationships, and I've learned certain things from you. You've learned certain things from me that I think have helped us grow. But like with anything, it's just like, yeah, like weeding through the shit and not getting like so absorbed with whatever the fuck this person's saying or what archetype is trending, and like losing yourself in the process. And I feel like we're all susceptible to that if you're online. You know?
That's not like the end all be all to like be happy and like have a perfect life, is like being the mysterious girl with a matcha latte. Like there's the like the identities we could have are endless, my friends. Like we don't need to, you know, and like at the end of the day, the right person's going to love you no matter what the fuck you act like. I still believe that. Y'all should still believe that too. So I guess that's kind of a positive note to end it on. But yeah, this episode was definitely a little bit thoughtful, a little bit pensive. I still feel like I'm going to come down from this for the rest of the day. What?
Pensive. That was a good word.
Thank you. Yeah. But basically, wherever you guys are listening, if you could do us a huge favor and just give us a like, drop a comment, subscribe, follow. It would literally mean the world to us. We are like planning a trip to do more in-person things, like a new season coming out in the future. So just please, you know, subscribe, support, stay here as we grow. We would love that. We're on social media at So Wet So Dry. The O's are zeros on every platform. So check us out.
Yes, and we also have listener support. If you guys are listening on Spotify, it would mean the world to us if you want to subscribe. It's $9.99, $4.99. No, wait. It's 99 cents, $4.99, or $9.99 a month. It really helps us pay for our trips and, you know, any equipment that we need. We still need better fucking mics. So we would really appreciate that. And we love you so much. Thank you for watching. We will catch you in the next episode. Bye.
Bye.
I ghosted at least 68 people.
I romanticized my horrible ex-boyfriend for the entire year.
I tried to be a lover girl. Didn't work out.
I gave a lap dance to a college student like I was in the club, but we were in his dorm room.
I got the rose and have mass for at least an hour every day since.
I got into another long-distance relationship.
Girls still aren't swiping on me on Hinge.
I tried to get at my ex's best friend.
I continue to leave a collection of guys on the back burner just in case. Please stay though, because I need you in 2024.
I fell in love with a coworker over Zoom.
I ghosted someone mid-date.
I was celibate for over 75% of the year because everyone sucks.
I continue to fall for emotionally unavailable people.
I applied to Raya, still waiting for acceptance.